Hey, I'm Dan from Wineglass Marketing, and I've been with the company for over 4 years now. Now, previous to working with Wineglass Marketing, I was in the wine industry for quite a number of years before, and I've implemented a lot of great solutions and collected a lot of knowledge on best practices and a number of topics for wineries. So now that we're also developing software, I've been privileged to be involved in setting up those integrations and leveraging their capabilities. At Wineglass Marketing, we are a full service marketing and technology expert group and agency partnering with wineries to make an impact with their digital presence. So let's show you how we make great marketing practices easy with our integration with Commerce7. First, I just want to establish that all the features that we're going to be mentioning today exist now and are live with our integration with Commerce7. So these aren't features that are coming soon or in development. They're live and fully functional, and we're really excited about them, and we're sure that you'll be excited about them too. So let's talk about the first feature that we'll go over today, list building. So Commerce7 has a lot of great features and collects a lot of great data. And with our widgets for Mailchimp integration, you can now utilize Commerce7's data within Mailchimp and leverage Mailchimp's amazing list building tools and port those segments back into Commerce7 as groups. With widgets from Mailchimp, you'll be able to get a true two-way sync that updates your information so that it's identical in Commerce7 and Mailchimp. We can streamline your email marketing by segmenting customers into different groups. Now let's show you how this works. We're just going to go over into Mailchimp and talk about segmenting into groups. Now you may have familiarization with this already, you may be familiar with this concept, but we'll just briefly show you how this functionality works. So in your audience in Mailchimp, we're going to view our contacts. And we're going to look at creating a segment here. So in all of our contacts in our audience, our test audience here, we can create a new segment right here. So let's create a new segment and let's base it off of some dynamic pieces of data. Let's make a customer segment with customers who've spent $100 in the past year. So when we do this, it's important to note that as more and more customers hit that $100 lifetime value mark, this segment size will increase automatically. So it really is a dynamic list building tool. So let's start with creating our segment. So in our segment here, we can see a drop down list. I'm just going to zoom in a bit. And here we have quite a lot of different segments that you can create or different options for your segment. So I'm going to scroll down past our subscriber data, past our Commerce7 clubs and groups, and we're going to go down into the e-commerce section, just to give you an example of the lifetime value. So we're going to choose spent total. So this is the amount of money they've total spent in their time with you. And we're going to say more than $100 in this example. And let's just add another option for this segment based on date. So scrolling back down, we can see our purchase date. This is really just showing you how easy this is. Purchase date, and we have a few different filters we can work with, but I'm just going to start out with within 365 days. So how cool is that? You can build it based on how much they've spent. You can make this $1,000 as well. You can make this a larger number. And as people reach that marker, they're going to automatically be added into this segment, which you can then send automated campaign emails to. So let's preview our segment. So I just click preview. And in our test environment, we have 13 contacts that match these conditions. So now what we can do is we can save this segment. We can send a campaign to them. We can send the automated emails that we want to have automatically set up when they join this segment. Now, in addition to segmenting and creating them and saving it, giving it a set name that you wish it to have, you can then take the segment and place them into groups, which would then automatically update your corresponding groups for those customers in Commerce7. So if I were to do that, if I were to save this segment, $100 lifetime value in 1 year, save this group, or save this segment rather. So now we have this segment saved. What I can do is I can select my visible contacts, and usually you can set this view to be larger, per 100 or whatnot. And I can select my visible contacts and place them with actions to a group. And I can choose to add them to a specific group of my choosing, which then will update your matching groups in Commerce7. So for example, if I were to add this to the enthusiasts group, I can go into Commerce7, look at my groups here, and they would be automatically added to that enthusiast group. Now, there's a few other segmentation options that you can operate with and work with. Let's take a look at more segmentation options. So let's just view our contacts from scratch again. Let's just edit our existing segment. So some other segment capabilities that we have. Example, what club are they part of? So let's take a look at our groups, Commerce7 clubs. This will indicate our clubs that exist in Commerce7. And it'll let me build a segment based on which club they're part of. So part of the Cellar Dweller Club, if they're part of that club, and they've purchased in the last year, I've now been able to create a club-specific segment of people who've purchased from me in the past year. Active club members, once you're actively purchasing. So pretty nice behavior. Another segment that you could use is their birth date. So what's their age? Another one that we could look at is how many orders have they placed? So order total number. So if they've placed 20 orders from you, maybe they're pretty interested in your product and they might fall into a segment that you may want to email some special offer. When did they last purchase? Did they purchase recently? So did they purchase in the last 90 days? Another example is based on location. So Mailchimp has location services. You could reach out to people who are within 25 miles of your location, for example, or you could use 100 miles. Maybe you're trying to have an on-site event and you want to invite people to it. Not only that, but you can also filter within these merge fields. You'll have custom Commerce7 metadata fields. So your customized fields can fall into this merge section. You can then virtually use any kind of metric you can come up with. So this now expands list building to be completely customized based on your own Commerce7 custom fields. Super exciting stuff. Now, let's talk about the benefits of the next feature we'll talk about, the connected store. So with certain versions of our software, your orders can flow into the customer profile of your contacts within Mailchimp. Let's take a look at a Commerce7 profile and a Mailchimp profile, which will be matching. And let's show you how this data merges in. So we're going to search for a customer in our system. Here's our customer. So let's view their profile. And first of all, you can see their name. They're added to this agency, etc. You can see their total revenue, which is perfectly matching their lifetime value down here. Now, this profile information all pulls over from Commerce7, and it syncs and it live updates. As you can see down further, you have birth date, which is also up to date. Then you have your Commerce7 clubs, the groups that they belong to, etc. Now, the best part about this is as I place an order in Commerce7, the data will flow over automatically. You'll also see my clubs update as I join a club and the groups update, whether I add myself to a group or remove myself from a group. And you'll also be able to remove yourself from a group, such as investor or VIP, from within Mailchimp, and that'll update. So let's just show you how easy this is. Let's go into Commerce7, and let's go into our customer. And as you can tell, the lifetime value is identical. So let's just take a look at the lifetime value. So here's my total revenue, here's my lifetime value. That's matching perfectly. And that will stay matched to your customer's records. You can see the groups that I'm part of. So let's just add myself to a group. Again, showing you how easy this is. Let's add myself to the enthusiasts group. Now I click add. I'm now part of the enthusiasts group within Commerce7. Now, going over to Mailchimp, looking at our groups, let's just hit the refresh button. And now I'm automatically part of the enthusiasts group. Pretty exciting stuff. Same idea with clubs. Let's go take a look at a club sign up. So I'm already part of the Cellar Dweller Club, but I want more wine. And I need more to accommodate all the parties I have, I suppose. So let's go into the Elite Club or the Majestic Club. So I'm signing up for my club. I'm now part of the Majestic Club. Let's take a look at my membership information and refresh my page. And now you can see I'm part of both clubs, the Cellar Dweller and the Majestic Club. The same idea will happen if I cancel my club membership. So if I were to go into one of my memberships and I cancel it, I would then see that group remove from this section. Let's go ahead and remove myself from the Cellar Dweller Club. So I'm just going to go right back into my in my customer and look at my club. Cellar Dweller. We're going to edit my Cellar Dweller Club membership. And I'm going to give it a cancellation date. Now, with most Commerce7 systems or most e-commerce platforms, I should say, if I choose a date of today, I'm still technically a member throughout that day. So if I want to cancel it, I do need to cancel it on a day before in order to have that update immediately in my system. If I chose today as the cancellation date, I'm still technically a member until the end of this day. So once it becomes the 9th, then my data would update. But let's just choose yesterday for the sake of simplicity. Cancellation reason, too much wine, hit save. And so now when I go into my Mailchimp system, let's take a look at our Commerce7 clubs now, and we'll do a refresh. And now you can see I'm now only part of the Majestic Club. Now, you don't necessarily want to just do that for your club from here. You don't want to just uncheck the club. That's something that you should do from within Commerce7. However, with your traditional groups, I can remove myself from a group. So I can go into the enthusiasts group, uncheck it. Let's hit save. Now I'm no longer part of the enthusiast group. Let's go back into Commerce7 and just show you this true two-way synchronization. So let's go back into my customer. And now you can see, because I didn't have to do a refresh, I've just hit this page live, my enthusiast group that I was part of has now been removed. So we can see this with this connected store, you get a lot of information that's a true two-way sync. Now let's talk about orders and product revenue. Let's go back into our customer. Let's place an order really quickly for my customer here. So I go into orders. Let me add an order. Nice and quick. We'll just look up our French Bulldog Bordeaux. Let's charge the order. And now let's go back into our Mailchimp profile and just show you our profile updated. All right, so here's my new purchased one item, total of $21.42. Here's the order number and my product that was purchased. Now my total revenue and my lifetime value has updated to match my Commerce7 profile. So pretty exciting stuff to see this true two-way sync operate. Now, when it comes to your connected store, we talked about marketing automation with your segments, and you can create segments based on your purchase data. Let's go back to our audience. And let's look at segmentation again just one more time, and we'll show you with regards to purchasing some of the filters we can use. So let's take a look at products purchased. Pretty neat behavior here. Products purchased, let's select a product. This is now using my full list of my Commerce7 store. So we can pull up people who've purchased a specific product. I could then add a secondary product if I want to, and you're now segmenting based on the products that have been purchased. Now, when you take this, you can also, again, place them into unique groups for your interest groups. And you can see, okay, well, what are people interested in? So pretty nice behavior. Now, let's go back to our slide. We talked about marketing automation now, showing the specific things and dates sold. Now let's talk about automatically emailing them when they abandon their cart. Now that comes down to creating automations and campaigns in your system. Let's go back to our audience dashboard. Now, one of the best ways to do this is to create a campaign based on automated email. And what we're going to do to demonstrate that, first of all, for abandoned carts, is we're going to go into our connected sites over here. And we're going to show you the abandoned cart email structure. So this is kind of neat. It's showing you in your store, you have 3 abandoned carts, things that have gotten started and have been abandoned. Now let's just take a look at editing this automated email. So I'm going to edit it. And we're just going to edit the design of this because we got started on showing the edit capabilities in our testing. So we'll go into the template that we wish to see, and pretty straightforward. You can use block editing capabilities to edit your email, but we're just going to do a preview to demonstrate how this looks. And we're going to enable live merge tag info to show you just how this will look. So this is pulling in the products from your Commerce7 store directly into this email. So when someone abandons their cart, you can program this to automatically send to them an hour later, 6 hours later, whenever. They'll be able to receive an email like this. When they click return to checkout, they'll be taken right back to their checkout screen, and they'll be able to finish placing their order. The same idea with when it comes to retargeting as well. Retargeting is an interesting concept. If someone comes to your store, but they haven't purchased anything, they haven't even added anything to their cart, you can look at product retargeting. Now, Amazon does this to me all the time. When I go into Amazon's site, I look at a product, but I don't buy it. It sends me an email later on saying, hey, you can still get this item. So that's what product retargeting will do. Let's take a look at the retargeting content. So here you can take a look at your product. You can have related products display as well. You have to meet a few qualifications in order for the recommended products to appear. You have to have you have to have 500 orders, and you have to have something like 20 products or 30 products to be able to even have the retargeting recommended products display. So you may need to be careful with which kind of template you use initially, whether or not you're going to display your recommended products or not. Because when you go to preview and test, previewing is really important, of course. You can enable your live merge tag info, which is awesome, and it'll show you your products. Now, because we don't have quite have 500 orders in our demonstration platform, we're getting close to it in our testing. That's why nothing's showing up here. So that's why your testing is going to be really important. If you have 500 plus orders, you have 20 something products, you have 50 customers, things like that, you're going to be able to have that kind of information pull in. And those are restrictions that Mailchimp implements in their demonstrations. So this isn't a restriction of our integration. That's a Mailchimp functionality. Let's go back to Mailchimp and go back to our audience. All right, so let's talk about some more unique features of the specific editions of our Mailchimp integration. Let's talk about transaction emails. So one of the things we can do is we can send the order confirmation emails from Mailchimp's product Mandrill. And the benefit of that is you'll be able to use your own Mailchimp templates. So depending on the version that you get with our integration, you'll be able to use your own Mailchimp templates to keep a consistent look and feel throughout all of your emails. So what that means is in Commerce7, typically you're using transaction emails. And you're using your own kind of template that's been built in this respect, account creation. You'll have a system default template, and it may not look exactly like your Mailchimp templates. So with that, depending on which tier you get with our integration, you'll be able to use the magic link, the order confirmation, order refund, order shipment. All of that will be able to go through Mailchimp's integrated system called Mandrill, and it'll use your Mailchimp templates. So that will give you, like I said, that consistent look and feel. And not only that, you'll have more capability with automatic marketing. So the automatic marketing emails that come out, you can make them based on follow-up emails for customers' orders. So if someone signed up for a club or booked a reservation, you can have a scheduled series of emails to follow up with them automatically, asking how their reservation went. If they did cancel their reservation, have an automatic follow-up email for a few weeks later to follow up with them and see how they're doing. Do they want to book another reservation in the future? Was there something that you could have done better? So you can have these all automated to make your life a lot easier. Now, what's the first thing to do to get started with this integration? Well, we like to keep things relatively straightforward. So we broke it down into two main steps. Step one, choose which version of widgets for Mailchimp that you need. And we provide, like you see here, a light, a standard, and a pro edition. So what's involved in the next step and what's involved in these editions? Well, let's talk about step two for a moment. Once you've chosen your tier of service, depending on the tier of service you choose, you'll be able to connect your store to Mailchimp if you use the standard or the pro version. Then what we do is we migrate all your customers from Mailchimp into Commerce7. We set up the sync between both systems, and then we update the data in a full two-way sync rather. So with this integration, this is a brief summary of what we do. There's actually a lot more steps in the background that we have to take on our end to make sure that this works properly. But this is a basic summary on setting it up. So now let's talk about the options and pricing. So with the Lite edition, you get a full two-way customer sync with basic marketing automation on customer data. This includes things like their groups, their age, what clubs they're in, and so on. But with this edition, you're not going to get any e-commerce related data. The purchase orders won't come through. No connected stores included in this Lite package. With every single system or every single tier, you get full setup. So we'll do all the work. And you get support included in the package on the integration. Now with standard, you get everything that you do in Lite, but you also get a connected store. So you'll be able to send emails based on the customer's purchase history, such as abandoned carts and retargeting emails like we talked about. You also get more detailed marketing automation based on the purchases they've made, when they purchased, what products they've bought, and so on. So sales-related data will come into this as well. And then with Pro, you'll be able to use the Mailchimp transaction emails through Mandrill instead of Commerce7 transaction emails, which can use your existing Mailchimp templates, an additional Mailchimp product called Mandrill, like we talked about. Now, Mandrill, I should note, is an additional $20 a month that Mandrill charges you, and it's a completely separate interface from Mailchimp that we would help set up for you. So we'd actually make sure that you're comfortable with using Mandrill and Mailchimp if you aren't already. Now, you'll also get with Pro more advanced marketing automation on most of your Commerce7 data, and you'll be able to have advanced follow-up marketing automation based on the transaction emails, order confirmation, shipping confirmations, club signups, reservation bookings, and more, which are sent to the customer through Mailchimp. Now, let's talk about pricing. What do you pay for all this? The monthly fees for Lite is $99 a month and just a $99 setup fee. For standard, it's only $179 a month with all the interconnected store features that you get, and it's a one-time setup fee, of course, of $199. So these setup fees aren't regulated; they're just one-time setup flat fees. And then Pro, you get a monthly fee of $299 and a setup fee of $499. So with all the features you get, we're really excited about these tools to be able to offer these options, and we look forward to providing this opportunity to any Commerce7 user.